An adorable toddler melts down after no one wishes him a happy Mother's Day.
Why are you crying?
Because nobody didn't say Happy Mother's Day to me.
Are you a mother?
No.
Then why are you crying? Happy Mother's Day is only for mommies.
Okay.
A former Starbucks barista recalls the stupidest customer question she ever received.
When I used to work at Starbucks, I had somebody come in one day and they ordered a drink and I said, "Oh, did you want that hot or iced?" And they looked me dead in the face and they said, "Well, what's the difference?"
Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update goofs on Weight Watchers filing for bankruptcy.
Weight Watchers said that it is filing for bankruptcy protection to eliminate more than $1 billion in debt. But you know they're just going to gain it all back.
That was really dumb. I apologize. Usually I have a quippy little moment. A little vignette.
This is not a show.
Is this a show or a zoo?
Well, this is the show. This is the show.
Really? This is super.
And that's what this show is really about.
Let's begin the show by starting it.
Show? Is a show?
Show me what you got.
Show me the money. Good morning. It's not May the 4th, but I'm wearing my Star Wars Cardinals jersey because it's high fashion, and they're 8 wins in a row. That is a nice streak. How about that? Go Cardinals. I wish, unfortunately, our SEMO baseball team isn't able to say the same right now, but it's okay. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning, Dennis. Good morning, friends and loved ones. And God dang it, I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you were able to utilize it. Recharge. Is it? Okay. What did I do last time? I was over here. Let's see. Did I pop it out and back in? Okay. Is it still weird now? That's so annoying. Okay, let's fix it. Wonder what's causing that. It's really rather tedious, isn't it? Let's see. Input devices. Side of a beach. All good now. Okay. Yeah, I got to remember that at the end of the show. Remind me to go check that later because for whatever reason, something updated. It is now defaulting to the wrong mic setting inside. So, an easy fix, now that I understand it. It is still hosted by Barry White. You're welcome, America. My darling, I can't get enough of your love, baby. Oh. No, I'm very white, not Barry White. Weird again. Shit. Well, I fixed it for a half second. Okay. Super duper. Let's go to microphone input. Test 1 testicles. Testy testicles. Ba-da. Is default for audio. 2 channel 2 bit 48. Did that fix it? And a 1 and a 2 and a am I new? I don't know. We'll soon find out when the delay catches up. I'd like to thank my remote audio tech, Alicia Irby. Appreciate you. So what's it doing now? Is it just noise? That did it? Okay. Yeah, so for those who ever hear this with a recording software, what it is the formatting of the stereo input on your microphone will go from 48,000 kilohertz or 48,000 hertz to 41,000 as far as the encoding goes. And for whatever reason, that's the Whippet voice. Cha-cha-cha. Fucking A. It's International Nurses Day. Hello, nurse. Don't we love the nurses? National Nutty Fudge Day. You could take a road trip to Uranus, Missouri today, and I'm sure they've got some nutty fudge and all the number 2 jokes that you can possibly handle. Actually, I'm sure more than any of us are prepared to handle as far as fudgy butt jokes. It's gross, but it's marketing, and it's working. Plus, you can get like cedar boxes. But National Nutty Fudge Day. I like fudge with nuts. I do. I'm up to a head cold now. It's allergies. Limerick Day. I mean, is it sounding normal, though? I got to figure it out. Yeah, good. I'm up to allergy status then, Fred. All is norm-ish. Limerick Day. I love a good limerick. You guys write a limerick. Stick it in here. You can go for your man from Nantucket if you wish. But, oh, God, I'd be tempted. Dare I do it? Pull out the 1920-something radio joke gag that Johnny Thurman gave me years ago. R.I.P. Johnny T. I wonder if there's any handy limericks in here. Let's see. I love a good limerick. You know? I don't know. I'll have to look, and I am unprepared. So I know that there's probably some terrifyingly racist things in here. My sister found a terrifyingly racist moment in an old, you know, the like fruit stripe gum tattoos that you can like lick your arm and just slap it on and whatever, and you'd play with those when you were a kid. Those go back way back. 1920s something. She had this tattoo book. Is auction, you know, is in a box of stuff. Anyway, the tattoos in there was like, it was kind of neat, like old school baseball and sports and fun and stuff. And then all of a sudden it was little blackface person and a little blackface person with spears. Yeah, some seriously racist fake tattoos in there. Different area. Good morning, Walter. The soggy state of Georgia. Did you guys get a lot of rain over the weekend? We actually had a decent weekend, but it was soggy from the previous week, and we're soggy today for sure. But we're going to let Stone Richards handle that weather forecast. You got yours packed in Uranus? Perfect. Oh, and it's Odometer Day, and I failed to put the picture up, but I'll show you guys right now. You know that Jeep I just bought, I did, we rolled over this weekend. Can I see it? There we go. Wait. Yeah, and I was doing 80 down the interstate because that's how it is. But there it is, 100,000 miles. So welcome to World Odometer Day, National Hospital Day, and World Topiary Day. And who doesn't appreciate a good topiary? You better get your little Edward Scissorhands ass out there and appreciate a good topiary. No, it would fit the same era, but this was like, yeah, like these were like, I can't say the terms because I'll get zooked, but one who would throw spears. That was the illusion that was into the cartoon. I mean, Dave Chappelle had a fucking field day. So anyway, a little giggle there. So anyway, it is World Topiary Day. Again, taking your donations for the Deb Eder Memorial Library thing that we're doing. I'm going to take donations through the end of the month, and then June 1, I'll shoot a check. So if you're interested in donating to Deb's library, holla. I'd be glad to have you along for the ride. It's time for today's TIQ. Let's get to scrolling. And this one, I don't know how long this will last, actually. Blame it on the rain. DJ Greg V knows. I bet you had that remix album, didn't you? The Milli Vanilli remix album? You know, because there was the album that came out, but then they did the remix album like a year or two later and had like the extended 12-inch shit on a cassette. That was unheard of, man. I bought it. Guess away. Where the hell's my feed? Here we go. Today's TIQ, sponsored by the Groundabout. They were on track today, so they get sponsorship back again. Americans throw away 26 million of these every day. 26 million of these. Little cannibal children in the jungle. Yeah, same insinuation, right? I mean, it's guffawable now when we look at it as like, were we that dumb? Yes, we were. We still are. We're going to look at ourselves in another 100 years and go, God damn it. Couldn't figure it out. I won't be around to look back at that. That's okay. I'm quite all right with that. Man. I am all kinds of wrapped up. How did I manage this? Sorry, hang on. I managed to wrap my studio computer mouse around my cable. Holy cow. We're good. 26 million of these a day. Staples, Kleenex, packs of ketchup. All good guesses. Packs of ketchup. What a good guess. I wonder what the actual numbers are there, Bethy. Because that's like a lot of those. Coffee shop cups. That's me. 26 million a day, though. Guess away. We're going to get into our birthdays. We got a handful here. We're going to give you the pretty princess treatment today, birthday people. Really, Darren? Yes, yes, yes. Daniel Morris is 45 today. Happy birthday, Daniel. I hope it's a spectacular day full of Midwest delights for your birthday. Maddie Sandlin is 27 today. Maddie's awesome. Lovely Maddie, happy birthday. Snappy celebration. Eon Vaughn. Eon is 26 today. What's up, Eon? Peter Kinder, happy birthday. Nikki Stallion, Nikki Brewer, she and I went to high school together. Nikki was in my girlfriend group, my girls' friends group that was a class above mine. And that gaggle of gals were all just amazing and still are, and I'm still in touch with a lot of them. But I love them. Happy birthday, Nikki. Happy birthday, last but not least, to Brickhouse, a.k.a. Jeremy Boyer. Actually, it's vice versa. That's his real name is Jeremy Boyer, right? We call him Brickhouse. But Brickhouse birthday today. Brickhouse is only 45. He's not 50 yet. Brickhouse, Jeremy Boyer, the organist for the St. Louis Blues and the Cardinals. And a pal and a brother. Happy birthday, dude. He had a party yesterday. He had the freaking throwdown, man. It's pronounced Ian. What did I say? I'm not even paying attention. Eon? Elon? Eon. Eon! It sounds more African that way. Ian. Thank you, Gregory. I don't know how I screwed that up, but 26... It doesn't seem like, because you're only what, like 32, right? Wink, wink. Yeah. I know. I don't know why I said Eon. Maybe because it's spelled like Elon, and I apologize, because that's not your fault. That was before Elon was even an issue. Also, in Elon things and not Ian things, because Ian's his own entity and has nothing to do with Eon, because I'm an idiot. 33. Okay. But anyway, I had to laugh because our friend Dennis had a nice little Photoshop with Elon Musk's face on it this morning. That made me giggle. Mini moons. Celebrity birthdays today. You can share these with Ian. Rami Malek is 44 today. Jason Biggs, the pie fucker, is 47. See? Doesn't matter. Kim Fields is 56. Tony Hawk is 57. Happy birthday, Tony Hawk. Stephen Baldwin's 59. He made it. Emilio Estevez made it to 63. Ving Rhames is 66. Homer Simpson, officially 69 today. That was the birthday air guitar for the 69. Brodak. Yeah. And I'm going to say, as a Darren, even in effigy, that Darren is just, he doesn't class in with us. Not the Darren we want. Kix Brooks of Brooks and Dunn fame is 70 today. Gabriel Byrne is 75. Billy Squier is 75 and still a rocker. Still going, my kind of lover. Billy Squier. You know Billy Squier songs? You should. He's a rocker. Steve Winwood is 77 today. That's all. That's all our birthdays. I got no more witty shit. Let's move on. I want to get the weather guy in here and talk about the potential for storms today. Stone Richards, ladies and gentlemen, in from his weekend adventures. Hoo-hoo! I am looking for the weather. I know. I apologize. I got 3 browser windows open here. One for the stream, one for the copy that I wrote, one for you. Okay, now I have yours up. He's so impatient. He's still going with that weekend gas. Oh, Stone. Showers likely pretty much on off all day. 65% chance here in Cape. And our coolest day of the week today with a high of 75. Not a bad day. But it's going to be wet, sloppy. Can't really do a lot of fun stuff. Now, we're going to hit a warming trend this week that I am not a fan of for a couple of reasons. First off, we've had a lot of rain. There's standing water everywhere. Then it gets hot in swamp nuts. It's gross. Mosquitoes, just blah, 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 blah. Buffalo gnats. The critters are coming out. Freaking bugs. And I'm all right. Off. Showers continue, though, into tonight. About a 60% chance with a low of 61. Tomorrow we warm up to 77. 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the afternoon and mainly east of the Mississippi. But that's because the heat comes in. It's like, aha. And then Wednesday, mostly sunny, high near 83. Thursday, mostly sunny, high near 88 with 10 to 15 mile an hour winds and 25 mile an hour gusts. Hell is unleashing itself upon us on Thursday, 88. That's gross. Thursday night, slight chance of showers, thunderstorms. Friday, slight chance in the afternoon, otherwise mostly sunny, high near 86. Saturday, 84, mostly sunny. Ought to be a decent day. Sunday, partly sunny, high near 82. Hey, it's going to be warm, but we're not looking at anything like severe weather-wise right now. So that's good, right? Of course it is. Stone Richards appreciates your optimism. Again, I'm just out of witty comments. You ready? Okay. See you Wednesday. Don't forget, birthday. Yep. Do something special or you're fired. Stone Richards, ladies and gentlemen. Just a small reminder. My birthday is Wednesday. I will be 51. It's a lot of years. And as I got to thinking about this whole lost weight stuff, and I was trying to figure out chronologically when the last time I weighed 225, 230-ish in that window. And I think it's really been 25 years ago. I think when Carrie and I started dating, when I was getting divorced and I worked for Charter, that was the most fit of that era. And I was probably about 275. But I was a humping a ladder off a truck and stuff like that. So there was more muscle to me. I've atrophied a bit. But it made me kind of feeling a little morose and doomy about 25 years. I mean, half my life as a Fatty McGee. I had some fun adventures. I could have had more. I was climbing rocks yesterday. I looked like a goat. Bah. Out there at Pickle Springs. Took the fam. We went to Pickle Springs. Good times. We'll post some pictures later. All right. Today, history. This is real short. Not a lot. There was a lot, but most of it was garbage, and I didn't want to repeat it. So, it was on this date in 1918 that Mary Kay Ash was born. She passed away in 2001 after a long, luxurious life as the founder of Mary Kay Cosmetics. But her last name was Ash. Mary Kay. Thank goodness she didn't pick Ash. Like, ooh, using my ashy makeup. Changed everything. I left the TIQ up. Yeah, and I have not been paying attention to comments. All right. Let me go back up. I totally have skipped. Okay, packs of ketchup was the last one I looked at. Coffee shop cups, straws, napkins, laptops or cell phones. Because I got distracted by my mispronunciation of Greg's son because I'm an idiot. Aluminum cans. No, good guess. Out of date spoiled food, water bottles, no. John had one guess that was kind of close, but not it. 1935, the first meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous takes place in lovely Akron, Ohio. It was organized by founders Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob Smith. 90 years ago. How about that? Recorded the song Satisfaction. And I think maybe a few years ago we did a deep dive on Satisfaction, and that the whole story about how that song came about was Keith Richards was dead ass asleep, passed out, whatever, and woke up with this nah, 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 stuck in his head. And he woke up, recorded it on an acoustic guitar, and then just kind of droned on the riff for a couple of minutes, and then fell back asleep. Tape recorder's still running. So when he woke up later at some point, he noticed that the tape was run out, even though he knew he had put a new tape in. He was like, shit, what did I record? So he rewound the whole thing, and it was 40 minutes of snoring and a couple minutes of guitar. And he was like, oh, yeah, okay, get no satisfaction. And they wrote it out, recorded it. 3 days later was when they recorded it, by the way. So it was just 3 days ago when Keith Richards was passed out and wrote it in his sleep. But in the words of Jack Black, always hit record. Water bottles, emails, coffee pods. No, but probably, Fred. I would say, honestly, coffee pods maybe more of a higher number than this. Just thinking in perspective-wise of how many of those get used. And I always don't, one would assume you could recycle coffee pods, that would be a great idea. But there's organic waste in there, right? So you can't just chuck it into recycling. Maybe coffee pods will be the end of existence. The number one song, I was 2 days from 10 years old. 1984. Lionel Richie in a sweater singing Hello. Hello by Lionel Richie. Number one on this date in 1984. They opened with it when you saw them. It was amazing. I can imagine. The Stones is one of those epic, that's like a milestone bucket list. I bought the fucking T-shirt concert, right? And it was on this date in 1990, that Saturday Night Live first used a time delay on their live show, because they don't normally do that, right? They used it in 1990. Do you know why? Their special guest and host for the evening, Andrew Dice Clay. Hey! Yeah, Dice was edgy, man. Yeah, you gotta dump them and rinse them. Yeah, that's a bummer. There it is, John. Batteries. That is the correct answer. John McGowan on a Monday nails the TIQ with authority. From the three-point line, he's going way back. Yeah, batteries. We throw away 26 million batteries every day. It's a lot of wasted energy. But nope, that's it. That's the TIQ. Good job, John. We'll go right to it. Matter of fact, we'll just get out of the brekkie bits because I don't even know. Well, that was today in history. Why did I do Stone so early? I guess you were just excited. Nah, he's gone now. Well, whatever. Brekkie bits it is. We're going to put them back up. But this was our today in history. Why did I skip you? We had the Asian library guy. Oh, that's why. I had it wrong on my laptop. I had today above birthdays. And so when I went to birthdays, then I went to weather instead of today. You silly cracker. Whatever. It's Brekkie Bits anyway. And a lot could be said the same about Chicago. When Chicago, my dad went and saw them several years ago. They were actually here in Cape. Went and saw them in St. Louis too. And for 2.5 hours, they played and ran amok and all the energy and all that shit. And I mean, incredible. These guys are legit. There you go, John. See what you get out, and they're like, the huh? We spent $34.1 billion on Mother's Day this year. I bought a handmade card for Carrie for Mother's Day from a young lady down at the farmer's market Saturday morning who makes her own greeting cards, and it was lovely. She drew flowers on the front.
And I was like, I'm going to support this little young entrepreneur and buy this card. And Gary liked it. And you can color it yourself if you want. He is. I mean, he's stone's ready to go. I would have loved to have seen Huey Lewis as well. That was one of my mom's favorites. When I was in 7th grade, she went and saw him. She brought me a T-shirt. New Orleans Saints quarterback Derek Carr has announced his retirement at the age of 34. He's walking away from the NFL. I know that makes my boy Landon sad. He's a big Saints fan. I don't know. He may be happy. We'll see. Depends on what they get. Do you drink vodka? Have you had Stoli vodka? Probably not lately because Stoli Vodka has announced they're filing for bankruptcy. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know. It's what it is. Houston Astros pitcher Lance, maybe people aren't drinking it because it's Russian vodka. Vodka. Well, of course it's Russian vodka. You eat it with a slice of onion like on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The folks at the Houston Astros, the pitcher, Lance McCullers, Astros reporting Lance has received online threats against his kids after his tough start Saturday against the Cincinnati Reds. That's right. One more reason proving why Astros fans are some of the biggest assholes in the universe. They threatened the man's kids because he had a shitty start pitching. Get over it. It's fucking baseball. It's a game. Go find something else. Jesus, your people are wound too tight, Houston. Gross. You need to get... I hope they track down who did those online threats. I hope they put some whoop ass on them. It's probably some douchebag with a gambling problem. Hey, the FDA is phasing out 8 artificial food dyes. Good. Them shits cause cancer and cockroaches, man. They're terrible. Your food doesn't need to look good. Just eat the shit. Anyway, they've got 3 new natural color options that are available now that they're starting to phase these out. Galderia extract blue. It's a blue color derived from algae. Calcium phosphate, which is white, and you get that from minerals. And if you don't know calcium phosphate, you've never been in a cave. And sodium lamps, right? Anyway, and butterfly pea flower extract. That doesn't mean butterflies pee and then they extract stuff. Butterfly pea flower. It's a blue color from dried flower petals, you nasty, nasty people. Nick Saban, so your new colors. Nick Saban, coach, he's going to co-chair a presidential commission on college athletics examining a range of issues, including college athlete payment structures. Nick Saban is going to do that. He's got a great perspective. Warner Brothers has announced, you Lord of the Rings fans, who's a Lord of the Rings fan? Raise your hand. I haven't watched them in a long time. It's a dedication, but worth it. But I'll be honest, beyond the original trilogy that they put out, I've not watched any of the other ones too. The Hobbit, the Smaug, and all that stuff. I haven't watched any of those. Never have yet. Just haven't watched movies. Warner Brothers has announced that Andy Serkis's The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, will open in theaters in December 17th of 2027. That's right. My daughter will be in her first semester of college before y'all get that movie. So plan ahead. Mark your calendars. Whoa, what was that noise? Oh, Creative Cloud's trying to update. Love when it does that while I'm in the middle of a stream. A Chinese tech company has filed a patent on a new concept. Okay, you ready for this? They filed for a patent, meaning they are pretty sure this works, to having AI translate animal sounds into human speech. I guess our research on what sounds mean from animals is complete, and we're now able to just create a library, put a collar on him, and have Dr. Dolittle moments. I think that's bullshit. That's what I'm saying, John. And that's why when you look at that, Nick Saban is going to co-chair, a presidential commission on college athletics. Oh, that's right. We put morons and dirty people in charge of shit now. Good times. bunch of crap. In Virginia, you guys in Virginia, listen up. There's a new law. And it bans kids under the age of 16 from using their cell phones for over an hour per day. So if you've got kids in Virginia under the age of 16, they get 1 hour of digital time per day or they're going to jail. They're going to go to juvie. Mind your fucking business, Virginia. Why would you need a law to determine this? Why would you need a law? How about a law that requires parents not to be fucking morons and let things babysit their children? God dang it. Such a stupid law. I hate dumb things like this. Well, we can't get anybody to comply, so let's make a law that can't be really enforced. Look what I did. You like my tie? We'll go get in my luxury SUV. All right. I hate politics. I hate that crap. What a waste of time. Did you know that Martin Short and Meryl Streep are a real-life couple? I didn't know that. You know, you see them all snuggly when you watch the Only Murders in the Building show and all that, you know. But that's their real-life couple now. I didn't know that. That's cool. They were photographed kissing, by the way, while they were filming Season 5 of Only Murders in the Building in New York last week. They've apparently, though, been dating for the last year. Well, good. Get some. By the way, joining the cast of Season 5 for Only Murders in the Building, hey, Carrie, listen up, Renee Zellweger. She's going to be joining the cast with her squinty-ass face. Here's what, when I see Renee Zellweger, you know how when somebody gets sprayed in the face with water? That's Renee Zellweger. I'm not going to spray this. It's not water. It's lens cleaner. I know, Fred, that's what I'm saying. It's just stupid. What are you going to have? Cell phone Nazis going around? You're going to monitor? Oh, we need you to register this as a juvenile's phone number so we can monitor usage. Mind your fucking business. Sorry. See, that's why we don't talk politics, because I get pissed and I start dropping F-bombs all the time because you're in the business. Mind it. Renee Zellweger, Logan Lerman, Jermaine Fowler, Christopher Waltz, Keegan-Michael Key, and Beanie Feldstein. Whoever the hell those people are, they're going to be on Only Murders in the Building this year. I don't do actor names. I don't care. But you guys might like them, and they're probably pretty cool people. Good times. Played too much Candy Crush. Yep. Oh, man, yeah, I was playing Wordle with the Pope, but I went an hour 15. Shit. Okay, have you ever heard of the honey-guide birds? Honey-guide birds are birds that will basically, you can follow them to honey. That's why they're called the honey-guide birds. And this is in Africa. Researchers in Africa have found, however, that the honey-guide birds, they will guide you to the location of beehives. That's what they instinctually do. However, if they guide you to the beehives and they are not rewarded with some of the honey, the next time that you come around and they're familiar and you follow them, they're going to lead you to dangerous animals instead. I'm shitting you not. Researchers have found that the honey-guide birds will guide them to the location of beehives, but if they don't get rewarded with honey, they'll guide them the next time instead to some dangerous animals. Hey, you want some honey? Come on, I got some in the van. Yeah. And they lead them right to a windowless white van. Candy sticker on the side. One of Pope Leo's brothers, of course, they're talking about the Pope and his real humanity, which is awesome, says that before becoming the pontiff, Pope Leo watched the conclave and used to play Wordle every day. He's also a White Sox fan. Good for him. Being human, it's kind of how that works. You're the Pope. You're still not a god. You're still human. You still poop. Even the Pope poops. Let me remind you of that. Great men poop too. In Japan, a man was granted admission to the Japan World Expo with an expired ticket. Oh, that's not a big deal, is it? Well, I don't know. I mean, normally this wouldn't happen, but this ticket expired in 1940. So the Japan World Expo, this guy who brought the ticket inherited the ticket from his grandfather, who had the ticket for the expo in 1940. The expo in 1940, by the way, was supposed to be a huge celebration of like 2 millennium of the Imperial Japanese blah, 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 blah. Excuse me, good gravy. It was supposed to be a big celebration. Well, World War started. So, nope, no World Expo. So his granddad held onto the ticket. Here we are, 85 years later, and he took the ticket, and because of the significance of it and everything else, they exchanged, gave him entry to it or whatever. I don't know if the ticket's going to go like in a plaque on a wall or something, but that's a good question, Dennis. So that's kind of a neat thing. That's the end of your Brekkie Bits. We're going to talk about charging our devices. I've got this smartwatch now that Carrie got me for the anniversary, which is awesome. We've got smartphones, smart devices all over the place. And you hear one thing that says, oh, no, you can plug it in, just leave it plugged in. It has a smart stop on the battery. It won't trickle charge. You don't have to worry about wrecking your battery. Oh, well, you got a lithium-ion battery that, you got to make sure you keep it in cycle and do it. There's some serious questioning about, are we charging things the right way? Am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? Am I extending or depleting the life of my battery? Holy crap. The anxiety is overwhelming. Not really, but we're going to talk about plugging in your device, thinking twice, being nice to your device, and the biggest charging mistakes, how to fix them, and away we go. Number one, and this is me, I'm guilty of this all the time, leaving your phone plugged in overnight. Seems like the easiest way to wake up to a full battery, right? But it's actually wearing your battery down faster than you think. Once your phone reaches 100%, it doesn't necessarily stop charging. It does get trickle charges to stay full, in that if you were plugging this in and you were streaming, you'd want it to keep your phone charging while you're burning battery. You're not burning battery when you're sleeping, ergo, trickles. So, this can generate heat, slowly degrade battery life. It's not the end of the world. It's not really, by the time you get rid of your phone and upgrade to the next model, you're probably going to be okay and not that pissed. 10 years ago, it really made a difference. Boy, did our phones suck then, huh? Okay, so plugging in overnight, it's a mistake, not the worst one in the world. Okay? Now, sometimes, and this is, again, a 10-year-old myth in my head, probably older, when you started carrying phones and devices, every once in a while, let it drain all the way down to 0 so you can kind of refresh, reset, retard the degradation of your battery. If you're somebody who waits for your phone to die completely before plugging it in, don't do that. That is not very good for the phone. Letting your lithium-ion batteries, they have a limited number of charging cycles. So deep discharges shorten the ability for the battery to hold a charge. Ideally, you want to plug in your phone when it hits about 25%. That should be your bottom line. Same for your one wheel. That will prevent unnecessary strain on the battery and the cycles. And also with poo. Fast charging, right? We got fast chargers, rapid chargers on this, rapid chargers on our devices. We want it quick. We ain't got time for that. Well, fast charging, of course, is a game changer when you're short on time, but relying on it too often can be bad news for your battery's health. Rapid charging generates more heat and forces the battery to work harder, which can lead to long-term damage. Occasional fast charging is fine when you need it, right? But if you're constantly using it, you're accelerating battery wear without realizing it. Just so you know. Now, again, this doesn't apply to every device, every charger. Some chargers, like the one-wheel chargers, are built technically to reach a point and stop charging. That's how the software works, right? But better play it safe. And, of course, we know, and especially as we head into summer, and look at this, 88 on Thursday, what a shitty, hot-ass week to hear. The phone's battery doesn't like heat. Your phone freaking hates heat, all right? It will actually damage your phone. Heat will damage your phone. Charging in direct sunlight or leaving your phone on the dashboard or the console or something while you're in whatever, you got to keep your phone shady and cool. If you plug it in and shove it under your pillow, why would you do that? Don't do that. This can all cause overheating, and heat speeds up battery degradation. It reduces overall lifespan, and in extreme cases, can even cause swelling or malfunctions. I'm going to make the damn thing explode. Just blow. I'm not a big fan of wireless charging, and that's our last tip on this, to taking care of your battery. Now, wireless charging's like, I've got the little magnet ring charging, just lay it on the surface. Carrie's Grand Cherokee in the console has built in. You can just set your phone in there, it'll charge your phone. I don't like it because it generates a lot of heat. Wireless charging is a futuristic convenience. Hooray! But it's not always the best choice. It generates extra heat, which, as we've established, causes damage potentially. It's bad for battery health. So be mindful of where you place your charger. Keep it on a hard, cool surface. Let the heat escape. You know, if you've got some old heat sinks out of a computer, put one under your wireless charger and then set your phone on. Let that happen. But when possible, use wired charging for better battery health, okay? I'm glad that the discussion has not shifted from the Pope poop in the woods. This makes me feel good inside to know we're staying focused on it. When you guys were in grade school, did you make paper bag book covers? Excuse me. Yeah, no doubt, Dennis. It is no joke. They've gotten better, but lithium-ion batteries, and this is something I've really learned more about since I've gotten a one wheel because of guys who like to take them on the trails, maybe getting a little water, a little mud every now and then. There's a lithium-ion battery inside those things, and that's a bad mixture. Can cause fire, can burn your one wheel up, right? Same thing with charging on those. So you got to keep square of that stuff. Get a good case too, by the way. That'll keep your phone and battery safe. They should make cases with a freaking magnet charger with a heat sink. I mean, yeah, it'd be inconvenient because you have a big fat block on the back, but think of how well your phone would run. Just a big-ass chonky heat sink on the back. All right, but anyway, we're talking about these paper bag book covers. When I was a kid, that was it. You made your paper bag book cover, you wrote the book title on it, you decorated the shit out of it. And eventually it had like hand dirt, and you'd wear a hole out of the top of it. But you can make a new one, paper bag book covers. You know, back when you had to carry books at school. So these are, you know, my kids don't have to carry around as many books anymore at school and things like that. So this maybe is what we would consider a useless skill for old people. And we're going to talk about some of these because I know not all of you are my age, but near to, and we experience the degradation of our skill sets as we get older and outmoded, right? We don't need paperback book covers anymore necessarily. Or like if you were really good at folding notes to pass in class, I don't know about you, I loved origami. I could make the Chinese stars out of paper and frogs and swans and all kinds of cool shit. I can make a cube. I can make a cube for you right now. Give me a piece of paper that don't have holes in it, and I'll do that while we're talking. I don't know if I have enough hard surface area to do this right. Anyway, point is, what's a useless skill, something that you could do? You were the queen or king of back in your day in school, in grade school, or, you know, in the 90s, in the dark ages, last century. What's a skill that you had? Oh, that's terrible, Darren. That's not a very good foldy. That's all right. We're in a pinch. But anyway, we're going to share some of these skills. And one of them is making paper bag covers. Also, back in the 90s, in the dark ages, we spent a lot of time road tripping with a map. You know, a physical map, a paper map. We use those a lot. And if you were good at refolding the map, you got driver's or passenger seat personality. You got to be the Jimmy John's grabber getter because, come on, get in there, because you were good at folding the map. That's a good skill set to have because you can't have a map flopping around in a car. blowing around, making crazy things happen. What else? Okay, landline phones. We had landline phones growing up. I had a couple of skills that, you learn when you're a kid, when you had the landline phone. That's the everybody phone in the house, right? Nobody ever had their own. If you had a cool rich-ass friend, I had like 2 friends that had a line in their room. Their own phone line in their room. They could call whoever they wanted to. That was pretty awesome. But we had one line in the home, so you had to learn some phone etiquette. And when the phone would ring, and especially when you had a dad that worked for state law enforcement and was a officer in the Navy, you couldn't answer the phone like, Mabel's Mule Barn, head ass speaking. You had to be, legit. Bergfeld residence, Lord of the Manor speaking, master of all he surveys. How may I assist you? Hello? Yeah. Is Commander Bergfeld there? That's how you knew it was calling from Memphis, because you get that deep South accent. Commander Bergfeld? No. And, of course, me and my deep voice. I guess that's something, too, that my parents suffered with that I don't have to deal with. My son doesn't answer the phone and get mistaken for me. I can't say that I didn't pretend to be my dad a couple of times on the phone. Drinking game caps. You can make a bottle cap into a beer cup from practically any distance. Could you do like the flicky, Troy? Like where you could flick it with your finger, kind of off your forearm? I always thought that was cool as shit. Them dudes could ping a bottle cap. I'm almost done making the cube, by the way, and then we're gonna inflate it. I've been folding away while we're chatting. So memorizing phone numbers was part of that too, that phone etiquette, right? Before you had caller ID and all that shit, you just had to know. Well, we don't memorize phone numbers anymore. I remember phone numbers that don't exist, but I couldn't tell you my kids' phone numbers right now, and that's terrible. They're in my phone. I rely on that to tell me. All right, here's the beginnings of the cube. Where's my hole? So there we go. Ta-da! Inflatable cubes. Something new that you learned about Darren today is he was Mr. Origami Kid, because he was awkward preteen years in the library, checking out the origami books and listening to Shel Silverstein records. 7th grade. And then you just kind of work up the creases a little bit. Ta-da-ta-ta-ta-ta. A perfect cube. Folded and inflated from previous scheduled papers. We'll put the magic cube over here. You remember the future telling things we used to make? Oh, yeah. And the last one, this is a skill set that some of us still appreciate, but the art of the mixtape. Okay? Spotify, Apple Music, this shit's is revolutionary. We didn't have anything close to this. You had to listen to the radio, some pretentious DJ that talk over the intro of the song, and you're like, God dang it, I just want to copy this where some asshole isn't going, 99, Q99. And then, here comes Baltimore with Tarzan Boy or whatever the tune is. But making that mixtape, special somebody. You wanted to give them the love songs or something like that, I don't know. Mixtapes. You were the resident gravity bong maker? Excellent. You got to have skills. Oh, the boat hat. Yes. The pirate hat. And how many of us, other than the free Wednesday coupon version, have a newspaper in the house that we can go make a party hat out of? We got to fold up our tablets. All right. It is World Topiary Day. We would be remiss if not to celebrate World Topiary Day. Right? Right. I knew it. Thanks for your enthusiasm. This is 10 interesting facts for World Topiary Day. And although I am not a, topiaryist, I appreciate a good topiary. I think it's cool, when they can sculpt them and really, make some cool shit out of them. But just geometrically designed ones. It always looks so nice. Such a highlight to the landscaping. And fun as a centerpiece sometimes as well. Do you know that, fact number 1, ancient origins, right? Topiaries date back to around the 1st century in ancient Rome. Pliny the Younger, not the elder, Pliny the Younger documented shaped plants in his gardens and credited his friend Cneius Mantius with popularizing the practice. Yo, my boy Cneius over here making topiaries. Pew, pew, pew. We're calling them dopiaries. But yeah, they were making like, I don't know, centaurs and shit in the garden out of bushes. That's a different hat, Dennis. The word topiary, the actual word, comes from the Latin topiarius, meaning landscape gardener, topiarius. It was associated with ornamental gardening and artificial landscapes. That's Latin roots, bitches. Fact number 3, in Renaissance Europe, oh, lovely time, especially in Italy and France, elaborate topiary gardens became symbols of wealth and order and sophistication among the elite. Oh, I do love the topiaries. Thank you. Yes, we've got a whole nother garden in the back. A whole other. I thought so. Anyway, status, right? You didn't come out with gold chains. You were like, check out my topiaries. The peak of formal topiary design was seen in 17th century France, particularly in gardens like Versailles, where plants were trimmed into geometric patterns, controlled shapes. Thank you very much. In the Netherlands, topiaries took on more whimsical forms. Our fact number 5, shapes of animals and objects and even human figure styles that later influenced English gardening. So we can kind of pick the Dutch for getting a little more fun and creative with it. Okay? And then it kind of faded out for a while, but the English brought them back. And though, 18th century England, more naturalistic landscapes were preferred, a Victorian revival brought back topiaries in fanciful forms, often in smaller private gardens. And not to be ignored, Japanese styles, really quite lovely. Niwaki. While different in style, Japan has a parallel tradition. It's known as niwaki, or garden trees, where plants are shaped artistically, often mimicking the forms of ancient trees shaped by nature. A little bonsai. But you know how they make them and they look like they've been windswept on a plane for years, just the way they've groomed them to grow? I think it's awesome. Milwaukee. Not Milwaukee. And not Kawasaki. Boxwood trees. Boxwood have long been the choice of topiary makers, I guess. The choice for topiary art due to the small leaves, the slow growth, and tolerance for frequent trimming. Both my bushes in front of my house are boxwoods, but they're just boxy bushes. I just trim them to box. That's all. Number 9. In the 20th century, topiaries expanded into a form of living sculpture, especially in public parks and theme parks like Disneyland. So the Disney characters, sculptured from plants. I'm a plant, says Mickey. Topiary. Green sculptures, though. And this was in the beginning of the last century. And then now modern topiary art is both a traditional craft and a contemporary art form, sometimes incorporating metal frames or wire mesh to kind of help form things up and grow into it a little bit. Sometimes they'll add moss to it a little bit, yeah. Create more complex, large-scale designs. Topiaries, off the charts in 2025. That's topiaries flying off. You can't even see them. They're off the charts. That's World Topiary Day, May 12th, 2025. Time for our warm and fuzzies. It's 8:23 a.m. Not 8:16. I should have played the 311 song 8 minutes ago. I didn't. 8:24. That's why I said 8 minutes ago. It's 8:16 a.m. Will you wake up, please? The first thing that you see. Prosantique or Lorangelo and Amangelo. All right, warm and fuzzies today, brought to you by Jedi Kitties, because even though Star Wars Day was a week and a day ago, I'm wearing my Star Wars jersey, my Cardinals Star Wars jersey, Because the Cardinals got eight wins in a row. My God, they haven't lost a game since the last one I was at. How about that? They won both of them that day. Thank you. Warm and Fuzzy, number 1, ABC says a Milford, Connecticut couple is crediting one dog with saving the life of their puppy during a seizure. Yeah, get this. Yogi, a French bulldog, was struggling to breathe and walk. Was it just because he went up some stairs? I don't know. They're not the most fit dogs. But a French bulldog named Yogi was struggling to breathe, struggling to walk, when Reggie, who is a boxer, sprang into action. Yeah, the other dog rolled Yogi over to keep him from aspirating and potentially choking. He rolled Yogi over. The couple believes Reggie's quick thinking and assistance saved Yogi's life. Because Yogi's a little fatty. And he... Thanks, buddy. You used to live in Milford? Well, I wish I knew the couple's name. You might know them, Dennis. I don't know. But Milford, Connecticut, making the warm and fuzzy list. Next up, we go to Fresno, California, where Fox 26 says a woman recently stopped traffic on Highway 41 to rescue a stranded dog. Good. Drivers waited patiently as she safely retrieved the dog from the road. The kind act was captured on video. The Good Samaritan is Nicole Campbell Roca, who says she rescues animals multiple times a year. Well, good on you, Nicole, for going out of your way. And, you know, that's dangerous, stopping on the highway. But you got to save that dog. Good on you. Yep. Why is his lightsaber red? It's in heat. Until the incident with the capital I. All right, our last warm and fuzzy. In North Haven, Connecticut, the New Haven Register says a North Haven, Connecticut police officer's 9-year-old daughter successfully revived him following a heart attack, okay? The cop had a heart attack. The girl, Analia, called 911, and then she performed life-saving CPR on her dad until first responders got there and were able to get him, and that led to her father's recovery. The community celebrated the officer's comeback and commended Analia for her courage and quick thinking. Good job, kid. That's awesome. That dog that needed saving. The reason the bulldog was out of breath because Dennis was challenging him to a foot race. I knew it. Hey, enjoy your National Topiary Day, World Topiary Day, dare I say it, and it's International Nurses Day. So again, thank a nurse today, whether you're seeing them on purpose or you run into hot chicken scrubs at the Small Mart. You know, whatever you're into. I'm going to send a happy Nurse Day to my brother-in-law, Darren Hefner. Hello, nurse. All right. Go forth. Have a great week. I will see you guys on Wednesday for my birthday, I think. Why not? We'll have a birthday show. I'll try to think of something to share with you that's just, I don't know, a birthday moment thing or something. I don't know. Enjoy your May the 12th. I'll put up some pictures from Pickle Springs later. Go check out my video, though, on TikTok right now because I got a hummingbird moth yesterday, which I've never seen live out in the nature. And I got a video of it, and it's so cool. I love hummingbird moths. You guys have a great week. Love you. Be nice humans. In the immortal words of Mickey Sharp, peace, I'm out of here.